Hello and welcome to the show. Lots of good stuff coming this week. We have a whole lot of good news about Ducati in South Africa, plus new Ducati models, very exciting. But first we've got this. It's a Tromox, an electric motorcycle. This is an electric commuter motorcycle. Here's the thing, it's 140,000 Rand, which is a lot of money, yes. But the whole thing about it is that you pay 140 and then you don't buy any petrol or anything like that. It saves money. But how long do you have to ride it before it starts making sense? So we thought we'd put it up against a bit of competition and go for a little commute. The exact Tromox model in question is called the Ukko S, and it is indeed a small electric commuter bike that they say is the equivalent of a 125cc petrol bike. So we decided to put it up against this, the much cheaper 46,000 Rand Suzuki Gixxer 150. That's already a proven force in the world of small commuters. Now, Glenn needed to get some stuff from the shops, so we worked out a little commuter route through the streets of Benoni to see if the Tromox can first of all make the distance, to see how it performs, and to see what the costs are compared to the equivalent petrol bike. With Dion joining us on a camera bike, off we went. So as is the way with electric, there are no gears. There's no levers on the feet, so you got your foot pegs and nothing else, and then the rest is sort of bicycle design. So front brake is where it traditionally is, near the throttle. The rear brake is where the clutch is, something you're used to. It has got ABS, and it's got an ABS button, which is very modern. I shall have to test that.
Old Donovan thinks he's the King Dong. He's got music playing in his head, his bike is silent. It's a glorious day to ride motorcycles. But I'm a little Gixxer and this thing is fun.
Now this is a test of commuting prowess and affordability, so naturally Glenn and I decided to do a drag race.
I'm gonna try it in sport mode. Let's see, Glenn, are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Haha! I'm leaving him in my dust. Look at that.
No, I can't believe what I'm seeing here. Look at that thing.
I'm still ahead.
Right, fifth gear, let's see.
While he closed a little on top end, it was not enough.
Haha! I'm the winner.
It's not surprising, the Gixxer produces 15 horsepower, 4 more than the Tromox, but it also produces 14 Nm of torque, while the electric motor blasts out a ridiculous 180 Nm of torque. Now that's something.
Okay, through traffic. So here's this is a bit like, I don't know if you know those Honda Groms. Really small, kind of nifty little motorbikes. That's what this is like. The thing is though, you get the kind of the adventure bikes where they're very tall and you're sort of above the traffic, and it's nice, you can see far. This is not like that. This is the opposite. Although it looks smaller than it actually is. When you see it sort of parked and you sort of think, oh geez, like tiny, hardly anything. We have it next to the Gixxer 150. The Gixxer 150 is taller, but not massively taller. It's surprisingly okay. The upside of this is that it weighs as much as about a cheese puff.
Now here's the beauty of little bikes. You can just zip along through.
Look at all these silly people in their cars. What are you doing? You're sitting in your traffic jam. What for? You could be living life.
Alright, we're going to hit a little bit of peak-ish hour traffic. Donovan's favorite trick is to really run late every time we do something like this. So, but this is ultimately, maybe he had a plan.
Glenn would get his own back though as we stopped at the store.
Look at this, cooperasi.
As it turns out, Glenn keeps chickens.
Okay, he thinks he's defeated me. Okay.
It turns out that the flat tank of the Tromox makes an excellent placeholder for chicken feed.
So one of the great things about this is, I don't have a clutch. So I can actually go around holding on with one hand like this. The other hand can operate the front brake and the throttle. I'm actually quite okay.
With the chicken feed still intact and the bike still moving, we stopped near Glenn's house for him to top up with fuel and check the usage. And just for fun, he bought me an ice cream.
Okay, again, I can hold the bag of mealies up with my knees. How am I gonna eat this damn ice cream? I can't get it into it. No. That went badly.
Oh, he's getting wobbly. He is getting wobbly. Let's check this out. The ice cream looks like it's seen slightly better days. The chicken food is still intact. But Donovan is looking decidedly uncomfortable. There's ice cream going all over the place.
But even chicken feed and ice cream couldn't stop the Tromox, and we made it back to Glenn's place. So, with the chickens happily fed and the Tromox covered in ice cream, we sat down for some calculations. Here's the question. We want to know, is it worth it? Now, of course, Glenn filled up his bike. We did something like 37 kilometers, used 0.8 of a litre.
Yeah.
That's just showing off.
And it was less than 20 Rand.
16 Rand, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so what it was.
Okay, but we're going to work out now. This is on fuel, on energy, cost per litre.
Yeah.
Now, okay, the Gixxer is 46 cents per kilometre. However, this over here is 20. It does this at municipal rates, so if you put in a municipal, and it does vary, so it's on average 26 cents per kilometre cheaper than a Gixxer 150.
All right, but I'm going to throw something into wood pile here. We've got solar, so it actually costs me, well, I suppose I have to pay off the cost of the solar eventually.
No, but okay.
It costs you zip. You plug it in and off you go.
The sort of affluent person who's going to buy one of these
also
very likely has solar.
Yeah.
So technically you're not paying anything.
Correct.
However, we wanted to say, how long must you ride this before it's worth it? Now, just little things. This is a bit ridiculous. It is 96,000 Rand more expensive than that little Gixxer 150.
It is.
If you're using municipal rates, you have to ride it for 369,000 kilometers.
That sounds like fun. Where do we sign up?
Where do we sign up? If you've got solar, it's 208,000 kilometers. So it is a lot of kilometers to ride to actually make. But here's my thing. Here's the thing. The Gixxer 150 is brilliant. I mean, especially at that price. That price is just phenomenal. It's an excellent price.
It's a great little motorbike.
It's a great little motorbike. Great, sturdy, wonderful,
it's what
loyal
you would
little
expect
bike.
from a Suzuki. 100%.
Suzuki, loyal,
Correct.
great price.
Yeah.
This is a better motorcycle. Now, if I commuted to work, now here's the thing, right? So it was about 40 kilometers.
Yes, we did a 40k round trip.
We worked out that this thing can do between 70, the way we ride. And we rode like we normally would commuting, okay? So not high speed, not anything, just normal commuting.
And it was in traffic. You'll see on the footage, it wasn't just long open roads.
There was some traffic, and we probably ride a little bit faster than the average.
Yeah.
This would get a range of about 70 to 80 kilometers, the way we rode.
They claim 90 on eco mode.
So here's the thing, okay, so the average commute in South Africa, Simlani Boffins worked this out, is 30 kilometers. And here's the thing, it takes 2 hours to charge this battery.
Yeah, something like that.
So it's a bit like a cell phone. I mean, you use it during the day, it's got enough mileage for you to service you for a day, in the city. And then you plug it in at night like your cell phone, and you wake up in the morning, it's charged, and you carry on.
Well, Don, I'm going to ask you this question. You've forgotten one thing. What happens when the battery goes?
Anyway, so coming up after the break, some very good Ducati news. See you then. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now, good news, we're at the Volkswagen Indaba event, which is actually in, well, it's Port Elizabeth now. What do they call it now?
Kariga.
There we go.
That's the one.
Now, we say Volkswagen. As you might know by now, Ducati now falls under the Volkswagen Africa group. Which is really exciting. I got with me, this is Mark Walters. You are PR and marketing and just about everything else for Ducati.
That is me. That's the one and only. And it's my job, it's my passion. So I take all the pride in it. Yeah.
There we go. Now behind us, you can see we're at the Indaba event. It's a Volkswagen event, which is quite something because it's part of Volkswagen Group Africa. Some of you might know that is part of what Ducati is now part of. The entire thing. It's a big deal. In fact, we are right near the factory. We're actually on the factory grounds.
Correct.
And if you want to know, how big this factory is, it is in fact a town. Is that sort of right?
It is exactly that there. It's taken over the town of Kariga. And we've got the plant here, we've got the test track here, we've got our customer service set up here, we've got our service garage set up here. It is quite the statement in the town. Yeah.
I mean, little things like South Africa produces all the polos in the entire world. There's a parking lot over there with about 10,000 cars in it. The amount of buildings and the amount of facilities going on here, it is utterly crazy. But why I mention all of this, because, you know, to the biking crowd, this is the giant that's now behind Ducati.
100%. So it comes with all the support that a giant comes with. We've got so much infrastructure behind us now, with after sales, with servicing, with emergency services. It is a full a 360 solution to providing the customer with a full solution. So we're happy to have the backing of Volkswagen.
The nice thing about it is, so all the benefits that Volkswagen customers get apply also to Ducati customers.
Correct.
And Volkswagen is so massive, it can afford some really good sort of perks.
Exactly. It has a nationwide network, so parts and accessories, and like I said, just emergency services and looking after the customer itself. The infrastructure is there, so we're kicking off from 100 already.
Okay. Now there's already two dealers up and running. There was one in Centurion that was there before.
Correct.
Last year they opened up the dealer in Claremont, which is Cape Town.
Yes.
There are more coming.
Yes, so at the end of Feb, looking into March, our Ducati Johannesburg dealership will be up and running. And then throughout the year, we are looking at the national footprint. So KZN will, in the main metropolis of Mhlanga side, will have a dealership. And then in the next 2 years, we'll be a nationwide footprint.
And then, okay, 2026, we've got a few new models coming out, some of which you
100%.
announced tonight.
Yeah, I will talk about them later on, but for the purposes of this, the V2 engine platform will be entering into the Monster, the Hypermotard, and the Desert X. So it's not going to just be an implant of the new engine, but it's an entirely new bike from the ground up that features the new V2 engine.
Oh, good news. And they can be expected sort of throughout the year.
The V2 platform in those models in Q2.
Q2.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Fantastic news. But this is very good news, because Ducati, you know, people have been kind of going and ah about it in South Africa. It's kind of changed hands a few times. It now has the biggest backing it ever has had. And we've got people like Mark behind the scenes here going on, doing good things. So please keep a lookout for Ducati in South Africa, and great things that are happening. Coming up after the break, we've got a very special guest where we're going to find out some like really, really behind the scene things. Please keep a lookout for that. Welcome back. Now, before the break, we were speaking to Mark Walters from Ducati. A lot of good news there. It does sound like, you know, Ducati, look, there's been a lot of waves with Ducati. You know, they've got a bit of a history in terms of ownership distribution in South Africa. But man, oh man, that factory is so, I mean, 160,000 cars they make a year. It's phenomenal. The backing they've got now is huge. They probably have more backing than any other motorcycle brand in the country.
It's quite incredible.
Huge.
And you know, you talk about the factory, it's basically a city.
It's a whole town.
They employ 5,000 people odd.
It's massive.
It's crazy.
It's utterly crazy. The scale is just something else.
Yeah.
And while we were there, the head of the off-road department for Ducati, the boss man of all the off-roads, his name's Michael Schlabitz. He was there also. We managed to get just a very quick word with him. Welcome back. Now, as promised, we've got a special guest here today. This is Mr. Michael Schlabitz. Now, as you might know, Ducati is venturing into the world of off-road for the very first time. And we have the head of Ducati's off-road division. We're very pleased to have you here. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Donovan, for having me.
Now, first question is, right, Ducati's been known for their sort of Grand Prix World Superbike dominance, but all sort of road bike and road legal and that sort of thing. This is going into the world of complete dirt. How did this sort of come about?
Basically, whenever you come to the factory in Bologna and you go to the parking, at the parking lot you can see a lot of trailers, caravans, mobile homes on a Friday afternoon. There are a lot of people that are actually fully into motocross.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons is we wanted to give our guys our own product to actually ride.
Yes.
So number one. Number two, our DNA is pure racing. We love racing, and we're competing all over the world, Superbike, MotoGP. There's specific fields where we haven't raced yet.
Yeah.
So we thought motocross is a market, yes, but it's also something where we want to prove ourselves again and show what we're capable of.
So it sort of fits. I mean, and South Africa is one thing, but the global market for sort of motocross, off-road, that kind of thing, it is huge.
I'd
Well,
say
not compared to road, but I mean, it is a big.
it is there as a market, and it's actually there's more and more people getting interested in the off-road world,
Yeah.
especially in the enduro segment. People
Yeah.
are excited to go cross country, off-road, just touring around, experience nature in a different way.
Yes. Now, how big was this project? I mean, it's starting for something completely new, something Ducati's never done before. I mean, you've got a lot of history building motorcycles, but not something like this. I mean, was it a big thing? How long from the original concept to sort of now?
It's definitely years.
Years.
Definitely years. We've got some of the best guys. We have Davide Piani, who is the heart
Yeah.
of engineering. He built that baby back there,
Yeah.
and he loves it like it's his baby. He told me that once. So we're really proud to have him on board, and we have a legend, Paolo Ciabatti, that everybody knows from MotoGP.
Yeah.
A man I have watched when I was a kid, and
Yes.
now I'm working with him, so sometimes it feels a little bit unreal.
Yeah.
But working with him and understanding how he understands it as well was a big project for us, and it's really nice to see how everybody puts so much emotion into it. So to
Yeah.
answer your question, has been years. It was a long-term process. We knew we're not going to come out with a bike and see how it goes. We probably could have launched a bike way earlier. You know, a lot of people are telling me this is really, really, really great for a first-year bike. I'm telling them, basically, it's not our first-year bike. We could have done a first-year bike, but this is something we have kept on developing. We created a
Yeah.
bike, we developed it, we had test riders like Alessandro Lupino, a former world championship rider. We have a 9-time world champion, Caroli, basically testing that bike, and we have a couple of other riders from pro top level to amateurs and people that just ride on weekends to understand, to find the perfect average.
Now, I will say something that he said that's interesting there. If you've been to the factory and you've spoken to some of the people that work in the factory, they are off-road nuts. They are endurance nuts.
I believe so.
They do, obviously, they'll ride Panigales on the track, Ducatis on the road, but most of them ride off-road bikes.
Like most intelligent motorbike people. Yeah. Well, think about it, yeah. There's so many people who have a road bike for during the week.
Yeah.
But weekends, boy, you'll find them
Yeah.
on the trails,
So-
100%. It makes sense. The transition makes sense.
Exactly.
It's the way the world is going.
And something else interesting, I mean, what Michael said is that they've been working on this for years. This is the first bike we've seen. It's not the first bike they've built.
They've had a few before.
I remember 2 years ago we were at World Ducati Week. It's coming
Yeah.
up again this year. They showed the prototype there, and I managed to speak to one of the engineers. He said that then, 2 years ago, they were on frame number 27.
Yeah.
They had built 27 different frames they'd tried up until this point.
Don,
So,
let's
wow.
talk about that. In the world of modern motocross, enduro, whatever, the technology is just so advanced. It's
Yeah.
not like the old days where you slapped an engine into any old frame with any old suspension.
Yeah.
I think any manufacturer wants to be better.
Yeah.
So it's not just incremental changes. They need to come out with something special that's going to really catch the consumer's eye and say,
Exactly.
why would I buy
Well,
that?
well, the technology, especially the Panigale, I mean, the technology in the Panigale, as far as superbikes is concerned, road legal superbikes, is unsurpassed.
Yeah.
So they do have all that technology, and now they're moving across into the off-road bikes. Let's quickly have a look. They've got 3 off-road bikes. The first one is just the straight-up Desmo 450 MX. We've seen that already. Dalton Fenter rode it at King of the Whip. Incidentally, they also announced that Ducati will be sponsoring King of the Whip. That's in November this year.
Yeah,
We're
for
going to look
this year.
forward to that. That's
Good news, yeah.
that's a good tie-up, actually.
I think
It's going
so.
to be very good.
King of the Whip draws fresh eyes, which is really
It's
good.
so
It's what we
cool.
need, yeah.
But little things like, I mean, okay, what is sort of the average 450 motocross bike horsepower-wise? What do they push?
I think that they average between, let's a modern bike,
Yeah.
55, 60, thereabouts.
55, 60.
Yeah.
The Desmo 450 is 63.5.
Well,
So-
I've read up on it. They've always said it's the strongest horsepower out
Yeah.
there. But they do lose a little bit on the weight. If I'm not mistaken, the KTM is slightly lighter.
It's 104 for the Desmo, and
Yeah.
the KTM is 102.8.
Yeah.
So yeah, a little bit, tit for tat there.
Look, the bottom line is that they're in the ballpark, boy.
They're
It's
there.
simple, and they will not release. Look at this massive success that they had with MotoGP. A company like Ducati doesn't just release a motorbike and hope that it's going to work.
Some tech going on here. In terms of electronics, as I say, they've got all this. It's got different riding modes, which I've spoken to people who've ridden the bike, and they do say it makes a difference,
Yeah.
The bike is very strong, but on certain tracks, you can prefer a different riding mode.
Yeah.
Other ones, you want to be more wide open, a higher riding mode. But the thing is now you can connect the bike to an app.
On
and
your
you can,
phone.
Yeah, on your phone. You
So
can
very
set all
similar
of
to
that.
Yamaha. You can set it
Yeah.
up, set it down. You can figure out what
Exactly.
it's doing and set it to your exact
But
preference.
you set
That's
things
cool.
like the throttle response, the traction control. It's got traction control,
Yeah.
the braking control. It's got launch control. It's got all that kind of stuff. Shower suspension, and it looks damn good.
It does.
Of course,
they're
Italian
they're
style.
actually all really pretty. I've got to be honest there. And I think they look a little bit unique, which will also be a buying. You know,
Yeah.
anyone can arrive at a track with you. You arrive at something special.
Yeah,
You pull the
exactly,
crowd,
exactly.
and the dirt bike boys especially
Yeah.
want to look the bling
Look,
bling.
speaking of special, that's the MX. While we were at the Indaba events, they unveiled 2 new variations
Yeah.
of that.
And I'm looking forward to
the one
these.
I'm saying is, now you want to say what's going to draw a crowd.
Yeah.
The MX Factory.
Yeah.
So this is like, you know, in the superbike world, you get the V4, then you get the V4R, which
Yeah.
is the superbike homologation. It's kind of what this is. It's got way cooler graphics. It's got those black bits added onto it. It just looks so mean. It's got a ton of stuff. Something called billet ergol steering plate that's lighter and stiffer. I don't know what that is.
I've got
but
one
it
of
sounds
those,
cool.
yeah.
It sounds awesome.
Yeah.
It's got more on the app, like it'll set the atmospheric pressure and temperature and
It'll
all
make
sorts
you
of things.
coffee.
It'll
It's
make
Italian.
you coffee.
Does it make coffee?
Espresso, you know, if it's in the
Espresso.
morning, a cappuccino, but after 11 it won't make you a cappuccino.
You're going too slow. Have some more.
It'll give you suspension settings, suggestions. It's got a titanium Akrapovic exhaust standard full thing, a whole shot device standard, disc protection, sump guards, and something called dark Kashima coating on the shower forks.
There
That
we
sounds
go.
very cool. I don't
All
know
it
what
is,
that
it's,
is, but
it's
it
a
sounds
coating,
very,
and apparently it slides better. That's
yeah,
in a
less
nutshell.
friction,
That's
all
what-
of that.
Donovan, you and I would be in trouble. Did they insert the little voice?
What?
There's a voice on them that says, "Hey, you, hurry up! You're going too slow."
going too
Donovan
slowly,
and I,
yeah,
we
yeah.
hear it all the time.
Go faster.
Hey, Mario, go
Yeah,
faster.
only you and I hear that.
Yeah,
not some of
only
these other
we
guys.
hear that.
But okay, but that's the factory. That's very cool. More on Glenn's side of things, there's a model called the EDX.
Yes.
That is okay. It's not not hard enduro, but it's sort of enduro cross country, that
It's
kind
a
of
fast
thing.
bike, a 450
Yeah.
for going fast.
It's
That's what
it's
it is.
more or less the same, very similar to the MX, same engine, same all of that.
But
it's got
John, how pretty is that?
it's extremely.
It's
pretty.
really pretty, isn't it?
It's got a slightly bigger tank. It's got a side stand as standard. It's got slightly different suspension settings, so it's a little bit more plush, less
Yeah.
about jumping, more about plushness. And it's got hand guards and sump guards and all sorts of things.
And the horsepower is what, that's what's
horse-
going to appeal to the 450
Yeah,
brigade.
I
out
mean,
there.
for the type of people on a long trail, if you
Correct.
ride in deserts, you know, the more kind of flat out open stuff, more the stuff I prefer, not hopping over rocks and
But
things.
Don, they've got their work cut out a little bit, and I've heard rumors that there is a smaller bike on the way.
So they have got a prototype
Yeah.
250.
A
has
450
already
is a
been-
hard sell. We know
Yeah.
this, yes.
They have got a prototype 250 4-stroke. That's coming out. We don't know the exact details on that, but we imagine it's going to be pretty good.
And it's one in the making already.
And listen, I did have a chat to Michael about, look, we said, okay, Roof of Africa, the hard enduro races, everybody rides a 2-stroke.
Yeah.
He went, yep, we know. Of course he knows, anyway. So what's the idea? And they sort of, look, they're not allowed to say anything. I mean, whenever you ask these guys about future models, they always get very tight.
You know, we're starting
Yeah,
speculation.
we're
now,
starting
of course.
speculation.
But perhaps there'll be a puff of,
They are happy to deny stuff that's not coming,
yeah.
but they will
They
not
didn't
tell you
deny
about
this.
stuff. So they didn't deny that there's a 2-stroke coming. I'm not
Yeah.
saying they definitely didn't say it's coming, but they left it open-ended. Let's say that much. They did sort of say there are many good things coming. Something
Look,
along those lines.
The simple fact of the matter is that the manufacturers that don't build 2-strokes are missing out on a massive chunk of revenue. So it wouldn't surprise me. I don't know. You know, all of these
see.
homologation laws, and then there's a question, how long will 2-strokes still be around for, and this and that. But currently, they are the bikes to ride. And my son took that bike out just the other day, and he came back. He's bugging me for a 2-stroke now. I want it. It's different. I want it. It's
Yeah.
lighter.
No,
We
look,
know
the
this.
hard enduro, climbing up rocks and things, you've got to be
Correct.
on a 2-stroke.
Yeah.
And I do hope Ducati builds a 2-stroke also, because
Wouldn't it be
that would
awesome?
be very cool.
Because it'll just be
Very,
like that.
very
It'll be
cool.
like that.
Very
And it's
lacquer.
as simple as that.
Anyway, that's all we got time for this week. Thank you very much. We'll be coming up next week. We've got a very special Suzuki, a very nice looking Suzuki. We'll see you then.
to the groove.